The boxing ring is a crucible where raw ambition and unyielding spirit collide, and the showdown between Raymond Ford of the USA and Nick Ball of the UK was a masterclass in that brutal art. Under the searing arena lights, two warriors stood, ready to carve their names into boxing history. Ford, the American prodigy, moved with the grace of a dancer, his jab a precision instrument, his footwork a symphony of calculated steps. Across the canvas, Nick Ball, the relentless British firebrand from Liverpool, embodied grit and ferocity, his fists loaded with knockout power and his heart fueled by an unbreakable will. This wasn't just a fight, it was a high-octane drama. A clash of contrasting styles that promised chaos and glory. As the bell rang, the crowd's roar shook the rafters, and the stage was set for a battle that would leave no one untouched. Raymond Ford, a rising star in the American boxing scene, is a technician in every sense. His style is a blend of speed, precision, and elusiveness, making him a nightmare for opponents who can't pin him down. His jab snaps like a whip, setting up combinations that land with devastating accuracy. He's the kind of fighter who turns the ring into a chessboard, always 2 moves ahead, slipping punches and striking with surgical intent. Nick Ball, by contrast, is a force of nature. Compact and explosive, he fights with the intensity of a man possessed, his pressure relentless, his punches thrown with bad intentions. His record is littered with knockouts, but it's his refusal to back down that makes him a fan favorite. The matchup was a dream for boxing purists. Ford's artistry versus Ball's raw aggression, a collision that could only end in fireworks. The opening round was a study in contrasts. Ford glided across the canvas, his feet barely touching the ground, flicking out jabs to gauge Ball's reactions. His strategy was clear: control the distance, keep Ball at the end of his punches, and dismantle him with precision. Ball, undeterred, stalked forward like a predator, his head low, weaving through Ford's jabs to close the gap. A looping right hand from Ball missed its mark, but sent a clear message. He was here to brawl. Ford answered with a crisp 1-2 combination, the sound of leather on skin reverberating through the arena. Ball absorbed it, shook his head, and fired back with a body shot that made Ford's eyes narrow. The crowd sensed it. This was no warm-up. This was war. As the rounds progressed, the fight evolved into a brutal chess match. Ford's footwork was mesmerizing, his pivots and angles leaving Ball swinging at shadows. His jabs peppered Ball's face, each one a reminder of his technical superiority. But Ball was no ordinary foe. He cut off the ring with predatory precision, forcing Ford into exchanges where his slickness was tested. A thudding left hook to Ford's ribs landed with a sickening thud, the kind of punch that could sap a fighter's soul. Ford grimaced, but fired back with a straight right that caught Ball flush, drawing a gasp from the crowd. The exchanges were fierce, each man refusing to give an inch, their pride as much at stake as the fight itself. By the middle rounds, the intensity was palpable. Ball's relentless pressure began to wear on Ford, his constant forward march shrinking the ring, suffocating Ford's space to maneuver. The Brit's punches came in flurries, targeting body and head, testing Ford's durability. Ford, though, was resilient. He dug deep, landing a blistering combination, a left uppercut followed by a right cross that rocked Ball back on his heels. The crowd erupted, sensing a potential shift. But Ball's heart was forged in steel. He shook off the cobwebs, bit down on his mouthpiece, and charged forward, throwing hooks with reckless abandon. The ring became a cauldron, the air thick with sweat contention. Every punch a test of who wanted it more. The later rounds were a testament to both men's resolve. Ford, now sporting a cut above his eye, fought through the sting, his jabs still sharp, but his movements a fraction slower. Ball, His face swollen, but his spirit unyielding, sensed an opportunity. He unleashed a barrage of punches, each one thrown with the intent to end the fight. Ford weathered the storm, slipping and countering, landing a right hand that staggered Ball for a fleeting moment. The crowd was on its feet, split between chants for Ford's brilliance and Ball's tenacity. Every punch was a statement, every dodge a testament to their skill. The fight was razor close, and both men knew the scorecards hung in the balance. Final round was pure pandemonium. With the outcome uncertain, Ford and Ball threw caution to the wind. Ford danced, his jabs a blur, trying to reassert control. Ball, relentless as ever, pressed forward, landing a grazing right hand that had Ford backpedaling. Ford fired back with a combination that landed flush, but Ball absorbed it and kept coming. The last 30 seconds were a frenzy of leather. Sweat flying, the crowd roaring as both men emptied their tanks. When the bell rang, they stood toe to toe, staring into each other's souls, chests heaving, the arena exploding in applause for a fight that delivered everything and more. Judge's decision loomed like a dark cloud. Ford's technical mastery versus Ball's unrelenting pressure. Who had done enough? The scorecards were read, and the verdict was tight, sparking debates that would echo in gyms and bars for weeks. But the result was almost secondary to the heart both men showed. Ford, the artist, proved he could stand in the fire. Ball, the warrior, showed a spirit that refused to break. Fans left the arena or turned off their screens, knowing they'd witnessed something extraordinary. A fight that captured the essence of boxing, courage, skill, and the will to leave it all in the ring. This clash wasn't just a sporting event. It was a saga of human spirit, a reminder of why boxing grips the soul like no other sport. Raymond Ford and Nick Ball didn't just fight. They created a moment that will live in highlight reels and conversations for years. Whether you cheered for the slick American or the gritty Brit, you couldn't look away. Their futures are bright. Their names etched deeper into the sport's history, and the boxing world will be watching, hungry for their next battle. This was a fight that transcended the scorecards, a testament to what happens when two warriors refuse to back down, a reminder of why boxing grips the soul like no other sport. Raymond Ford and Nick Ball didn't just fight. They created a moment that will live in highlight reels and conversations for years. Whether you cheered for the slick American or the gritty Brit, you couldn't look away.